Hey folks, Why Would You Ask That is a podcast that answers some of the weirdest questions. A lot of those are inappropriate for some listeners. If you're squeamish, easily disturbed, or just having a bad day, this may not be for you. But if you've got to know the answers like we do, stay tuned.
Why would you ask that? Can you make bread with yeast from your body? Presented today by us three. Me, they, them.
I'm Karen, she, her.
And I'm Remy, he, him.
We are here presenting a talking podcast where our very kind friend Remy, our friend who is willing to put in the effort to answer these desperate questions. These desperate fucking questions. Because today we want to know, can you make bread with yeast from your body? Remy, can you make bread with yeast from your body? Please tell us.
I'd be super happy to answer this weird question. Everybody has weird questions, and I like researching weird questions. So why would you ask that? But also, I love to read about it. So it's a complicated answer. I have a lot of thoughts about it. It's been done, for one. Did you know?
That someone made bread from yeast from their body?
Yes.
Was it like colon yeast, or was it like pussy yeast? I don't know where else yeast would be.
Yeast is all over. In 2015, a blogger named Zoe, no last names, woke up with a yeast infection in her vag and decided she wanted to use that yeast to bake bread. So she harvested it. I don't know if you want the specifics. I have the specifics.
This is going to be a not safe for work podcast. And since this is episode 1, we want to know what it is, and we want everybody else to know this is what we're going to get into. It's not just called, why would you ask that? Like.
Okay, well then I'm going to get into the specifics. You asked for it.
Yes, I did.
I don't know why you would ask for it, but...
Because I need to know, how do you harvest yeast from the puss?
Okay.
Like, did she just scoop it on out like ice cream?
Here's what she says about the situation. She said, I woke up on Saturday morning with that familiar tingling burning sensation in my fanny.
That's not good. I mean...
Oh, it's familiar.
Everybody's had him at least once, right?
At least once.
No.
What?
She said, and then I thought, I wonder if I can make bread out of this. I don't know why that would be your first thought. And then she thought, oh, I've always wanted to make my own sourdough bread. And the next thing I knew, I was scooping a bunch of white stuff off of a dildo.
Well, that's one way to do it.
I'm not sure if that's really the best way to do it, but okay.
She said specifically it was about enough to cover one tine of a fork.
That's it?
Not a specific measurement, but that's about how much, yes.
Weak.
So you might immediately think unhygienic, but according to Zoe, yeast is yeast. And her vaginal yeast is no less gross than the wild yeast that you just generally have floating around in your kitchen that is usually used to make bread. All sourdough starter is encouraging the wild yeast in your kitchen that's already just floating just generally in the air at all times and living on your utensils all the time to just grow into a bread.
Fair. But, it doesn't come with extra flavoring.
Also, I don't think that yeast comes from that. So I'm sorry, it's not the same.
Right? And yeah, you're totally right. It's not the same yeast at all. There's like thousands of different kinds of yeast. There's hundreds of them at least living just in your house at any given time. The yeast that lives inside of sourdough bread is called Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Nope. Cut that out, please.
No.
Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Cerevisiae. Got it. In one.
I thought you were going to say CeraVe, and I was like, oh no. Don't they make skin products?
Skin projects. I love it. Ed Gein in here.
The type that makes vaginal yeast infections is Candida albicans. There are two different types of yeast.
They don't even sound the same.
So, no, one is yeast that has like a rich background. Their parents gave them everything they wanted. They went to a private school. All those happy little yeasts making all that fancy fucking sourdough. And then you have pussy yeast, and they don't even have access to social services. They didn't even go to public school because it was a little too far to bus. So, like, their parents got together and they said, you know what, we're going to homeschool. But
they're in a cult.
We're going to do it how Pastor Jimmy Cola wants it. Pastor Jimmy Cola bread.
That's one way to put it. So the normal sourdough yeast is called brewer's yeast usually, and I'm going to call it that from now on because I clearly don't know how to say it the right way. You usually find it on like ripening fruit, and it's why we've been using it in winemaking, brewing, and baking since ancient times. And Candida is an opportunistic pathogen, is what I found. They call it in the science community. And it's found in your gut and your mouth usually. Often. It just lives there all the time. It's in your vagina just in general. Always. It's always there. But it sort of like morphs into a yeast infection under the right circumstances.
Which is to say, do not feed it after midnight.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, obviously, if you're gonna like be licking on people's puss, it's fine because you're getting it in your mouth. But when it's in yeast infection state, you probably don't want to eat it.
It's chewy.
It causes 40. It's oh God.
Now you've gone and grossed yourself.
It's grossed yourself out. Yep, that's my job. Candida accounts for a mortality rate of 40%, and it's capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier.
Wait, it could kill you?
So it's really not a very good thing to eat. It could kill you.
Puss yeast can kill you!
Only if they're having a yeast infection, and you eat it.
Zoe wrote the post!
Oh my god, Zoe. Did Zoe die?
So, Zoe documented her pussy sourdough over the course of the entire journey, day to day.
Oh my god. The pussy dough.
We gotta come up with a name for it.
Well, I could call it what she called it, but most Americans super hate the word that she chose to use.
Cunt. The wee cunt.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Channeling Scottish Twitter.
Oh no. You gotta tell us now, because I'm super curious about Zoe.
Okay, she took a sample of her yeast infection and put it into her sourdough starter and she just let it do its thing with the regular yeast from the air. Fed it like usual day to day as you do. And then a few days in, it was ready. It looked like regular dough. According to her, quote, "It tasted like a pretty damn nice sourdough bread. Not the tastiest or tangiest sourdough I've ever eaten, but solidly tasty."
Wait, how much time did she give it? It never tastes good, like, the best, the first, I don't know, roll or two, doesn't it?
She, I think, waited 4 days when it was the way it was supposed to look, and then she cooked it.
Zoe lacks dedication.
Yes. She did say, according to her, "I got bored while I was proofing the bread and fucked up." Quote.
So, she got impatient, and then she fucked up the bread.
Ah.
Yeah. But that's okay. She did do it again later when she decided she wanted to experiment again after she let the first sourdough starter die because she didn't remember to feed it.
You know what? I don't know why I should expect more from somebody who is making sourdough bread from pussy juice.
So this experiment was better, and I felt better about it because when she repeated it, she did the experiment with healthy vaginal juices. She specifically said, "I didn't have a yeast infection this time."
Oh.
Oh, well, that's much better. It's less likely to kill you, right? But it's still gonna have pussy flavor.
Yes. According to her, it didn't. It didn't.
Maybe she likes it.
Well, I think she does.
Oh.
But
I mean, you gotta like the flavor of pussy if you're gonna cook
Good
with
for
pussy
her.
juice.
But also, what?
It's just a fact of life.
she quote harvested the juices, and I think a better way, she just sort of swooped her fingers up in there.
You'll get more than like one tine of a fork if you do that. I mean, really.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a measuring spoon.
She also made a control batch.
Ah!
Yes. She made a control batch also so she could see which one did better.
Fucking finally.
Mm. Oh, so she's getting into the scientific method.
Yes.
She really is a scientist. That's great.
Do you think that the regular bread did better, or do you think that the dough that she made with her juices did better? Which one worked better?
As far as final product, or
Yeah. Which one turned into a better sourdough starter and made a better bread?
The one that's meant for bread.
it's definitely going to be the pussy one because you're asking.
It was the vag bread.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
She said that day to day, the one with the juices in it was wetter than the other one, which produced more bubbles, which means it was growing more and more alive than the other one, and was, quote, lighter and bubblier when it was cooked, which resulted in a better tasting bread, and that the control bread was, frankly, horrible, heavy, and doughy, and she couldn't even finish one piece of it.
Wow. Well, maybe she just doesn't know how to make sourdough.
Could be.
Maybe.
Bro, I can't.
She also made Marmite with her own juices, but I didn't. I decided not to go into that.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Wow. Zoe, you took something really, really gross and did science with it.
But it stayed gross. Don't get me wrong. It stayed gross. You made pussy bread. Like.
Yeah.
Yes, you can make bread with the yeast from your own body. Will it be good? Apparently it is. Would I do it? No, I wouldn't.
No, fuck no. Oh my god. I gotta share that bread with people, or be like, hey, I made bread. And everybody be like, ooh, I want some. And you can't just go, you don't, because I made it with my pussy juices. I mean, I guess you can tell some people about it. You can blog about it to the whole world. But if you, like, put that shit up on Instagram and people be like, oh, yummy bread, you be like, shut up, grandma. Sorry, you don't want this bread. This bread ain't for grandma.
Oh my god. Honestly, there's worse things you could put in bread. I mean, for me, it's not so much the problem as putting things into things that you yourself are going to consume. It's putting things and then giving it to other people without letting them know, without informing them.
That's super gross, and I bet people get off on that shit. Like, that's some nastiness. Mm-hmm. Like, oh god. It just,
yeah.
Oh, that's mayonnaise. No, it's fucking not.
Do you want to hear about other body fluid cooking experiments?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, before Zoe made bread, there was another lady named Cecilia who made yogurt with her vagina.
Somehow that one makes more sense.
It did to me, too.
Hold on, I just have to ask. I have to ask. If her friends could define her by one quality, would it be cultured?
Oh
so
my
sorry.
God. You know, I've made homemade yogurt before. Not with
Not pussy yogurt.
my puss.
Pusker.
I'm sorry, I keep that shit to myself. Very limited audience. And that's an audience that does not. There's no byproducts. There is no pussy husbandry here. We don't produce anything for the consumption of others or myself. I will put that out there. This is normal homemade yogurt. And it was a lot of, you know, trial and error, and warming it and telling it it's doing a good job at being yogurt and stuff. It seems like a lot of effort, and it's got to be harder when you're making it from the puss.
You know, it was her friends that really like spurred her on to do this too. So it's great that you asked the question, Karen.
Oh man. Oh, that's great.
She was sitting around the dorms because she was a student one night, having a conversation with her friends about making yogurt from your vagina. And then they did a Google search and it had not been done before. And she said, why not? So she decided to do it.
Were they biology students? What's happening?
This is college.
I think it's just the article I was reading just said PhD student. It didn't specify. I would hope so, if this is what you're thinking about.
Student, college, this happened. Bro.
My college experience is vastly different than this.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah, mine too.
I think we all had non-traditional college experiences, or at least something vastly different from what they show on TV.
Yes.
So what she decided to do was largely just scoop everything out with a spoon.
Oh my God. That's exactly what I was saying.
As you do.
Get out the big guns. Scoop that shit.
So why she wanted to do it, other than her friends talking her into it, sort of, was that like, so every vagina is home to hundreds of different types of bacteria and organisms, and the organisms produce lactic acid, hydrogen peroxide, and other substances that keep everything healthy down there. And the dominant bacteria is called lactobacillus, and it also happens to be what people sometimes use to culture milk, cheese, and yogurt.
Oh, I see that on labels all the time.
So her reasoning was like, probiotics. So I can eat probiotics and it's supposed to make my intestines healthy. And you can buy vagina specific probiotics also. So like, why can't I just eat my own good bacteria that's already in my vagina, was her thought process.
Yeah. You know what? I see it. I see it. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. It's still gross.
It is still absolutely fucking disgusting, but at least this way it's a lot more scientific sounding than waking up one day with the tingling, burning itch and being like, oh, let's make bread out of this.
That is very true. At least it's healthy juice. So that's a big factor.
Some good soup.
God.
Great. So she took a wooden spoon and shoved it up in there and scooped some out.
Oh.
What?
Oh, she went wooden. Like, when I think of a wooden spoon, I think of like the big guys. Like,
I literally don't think I've ever seen a small wooden spoon. So.
Oh, I have.
Oh, good. At least one of us. The only time I see small wooden spoons is when I'm like literally watching people whittle wooden spoons just for shits and giggles. The whittling channel, man, that's good shit.
What? Why a wooden spoon?
Oh, I don't know. One would. She had it in her dorm, I guess.
What if she got a splinter?
Oh no! Oh my god!
Yeah, that would be really uncomfortable.
Oh my god! That would. Ooh.
Who would you get to dig that out?
The doctor.
A doctor.
I'm not trusting anybody. I don't care if they're my friends. my
Is she gonna turn
enemies,
into
like
frat boy Chad?
frat boy Chad. Frat boy Chad better be getting a fucking PhD in pussy.
You know that's what they all say they have, though, right?
Well,
Yeah.
a PhD in pussyology. Gynecology is the official
Gynecology.
word.
I don't think you get your PhD in gynecology.
Well, you should. I want to be an expert in the puss. And just take the splinter out. Oh my god, I can't.
It didn't happen. It was just a what if. So okay.
The theoretical splinter is making me hurt. Remy, can you remove the splinter from my pussy by telling us the next part?
Yes. So she set up a positive control made with actual yogurt as the starter culture and a negative control made with plain milk and nothing added, and then combined her own homemade ingredient to the third batch of yogurt. Her first batch of yogurt tasted, according to her, sour, tangy, and tingly on her tongue.
Whoa. So it's just extra big pussy juice.
She ate it with blueberries.
It's not a bad combo. Okay.
All right.
But you said
And then she made a second batch,
yeah.
and it tasted more tart and like spoiled milk.
Oh.
Ooh. What went wrong?
So then she decided not to make any more.
Yeah, that would be a good place to stop.
That's the batch that she made after Chad.
Oh god.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I know that is not what happened, but I'm just like, I wonder what the difference was.
Chad.
As a scientist.
Oh, I assumed the first batch was made and then it was used to culture the second batch. That's what I was assuming.
Maybe. It probably just went bad, yeah.
Mm.
Maybe she left it out too long or didn't take care of it properly.
Mm.
Yeah, like that, you have to like sit around and warm it and baby it, breastfeed your fucking yogurt, take it out for walks, you know, sure that it's stimulated, it's got lots of like environmental things to look at. You have to teach it to walk and talk and speak, and then maybe you'll get some good yogurt.
Maybe.
But not until it enters the first grade.
All right. So we've got pussy bread, pussy yogurt. What else we got?
Well, that was early 2015 and late 2015. And then 2016, man entered the scene and decided that he also wanted in on this market.
Mm,
Oh my god.
naturally.
So what body fluid?
So in 2006, it's still pussy juice.
Wait,
Oh.
did he use his own pussy juice or did he outsource?
He outsourced.
Oh my god.
So in late 2016, a funding campaign got put up on Indiegogo, if you remember that site.
What?
What? Hold on. You're saying that he funded for this? Pussy juice is free.
Yeah. He crowdfunded for it. It was accompanied by an advertisement video
Oh no.
Oh no.
that was softcore pornography,
What?
and I have the transcript if you want me to read it to you.
Oh, please. I promise I won't interrupt. Not once. I'm not going to promise that I'll keep that promise, but...
Okay, so the ad opens with boobs, and then it says, "Imagine a woman of your dreams, your object of desire, her charm, her sensuality, her passion. Try her taste, feel her smell,
What?
hear her voice. Now free your fantasies and imagine that with a magic wand, you can close it in one bottle of beer.
What?
We have discovered a process of transmission of her essence, her femininity, her instinct by isolation of lactic acid bacteria from her vagina. The end.
What the hell? Oh my god! Oh my god! So, wait, hold up! He's starting a fucking Indiegogo to get pussy juice to put into beer to sell to people! I'm choking on this one!
I would like to introduce I would like to introduce you to this extremely not safe for work website where the beer exists.
It exists.
Wait, it exists?
With a successful campaign.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the opening banner, this fucking website is just a tit. Just one big old booby. Very erect nipple.
It's just a tit with an erect nipple. If you scroll down, the pictures on this website get progressively more pornographic until you end with an image of two big boobs and a woman's hand between her legs with water pouring off of it. And then the image right below that is actually the beer sitting in a pair of panties. The beer is called Order of the Yoni.
The Yanni.
Yoni, of course, being the Sanskrit word, yoni, okay, being the Sanskrit word for vagina.
Yep.
So they have managed to find the secret of a woman's charm and personality, the very essence of which has just been in her vagina all along.
Hold on. There is a portion of this website called Goddesses, which, glad for the respect, and you know what, they found a way to do this, but you get to see pictures of the women, the 3 women that donate their pussy juice to this product, and it's just like the funniest, saddest, most wonderful, weird thing. Like, it's sad because, like, they're talking such a big game. They're like, feel her essence, do this, do that, you know, absorb her, your object of desire. And then they have, like, these really, really tiny photos. Oh, wait, hold on, you can click on them. That's a big picture. But yeah, they're just like, I guess they're models. Just.
Yep, they're Polish models.
Ah.
Now I would like to draw your attention to the portion of the website where they pretend to be a cult.
What? Where?
If you click on the story portion of the website, you will see a section where they say, Great Goddess, the greatest among gods, Great Mother, Magna Dea, frequently depicted as Aphrodite, and then they name a bunch of other goddesses. Thousands of years ago, the great goddess worshippers and priests in almost all cultures and civilizations discovered her sacrament, her divine part lying hidden in her dieter's yoni.
I wish everybody could see my face.
And then it kind of just goes on to say that they've been making beer out of pussy juice for thousands of years.
I highly doubt this, but...
Priestess of the goddess had found deities amongst women, took with respect the Saint Yoni Lactobacillus, you remember the bacteria from earlier, the divine sacrament, and combined it with water, malts, and yeast, creating the first sour ale. The sour ale, combined with the dieter's Yoni Lactobacillus, created as a new secret sacrament provided by the great goddess herself, produced and drunk by her followers, who set up a secret order, the Order of the Yoni.
Oh my god. They're like, this is ancient Sumer... The hexagram? You mean...
It's the Star of David, yes.
What? Well,
yes.
They're trying to... Oh my god. Look at all these ancient civilizations. I love for the Queen Solomon and like King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. It's just like a movie poster where it's just like the touching up on each other. This woman is like, oh my god, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, Shelly, or whatever they spoke in those times. And it's just like, what the hell? Proto-Masonic fraternities. Leonardo da Vinci?
You know, in that picture, the Freemasons thing, it does look like a yoni.
It does, in fact. I noticed that too.
I'm like, wow, huh? There might be something to this.
Oh, okay. It's the same way it's a triangle for Illuminati.
Apparently they established... Yes? They established some proto-Masonic fraternities, which later led to the Freemasons. The Order of the Yanni. They were apparently the founders of the Freemasons. We should have been talking about this the whole time. Their symbol, square and compass, is based on the hexagram, the Star of David, but also looks like two letters, V, which represent the vagina and the vulva.
So far, I'm not against this cult.
Oh, they let them drink all the fucking pussy beer that they want, but they have a creed here. There's like 10 tenets. It's like, the first one is just, as a follower of the Order of Yanni, Order of Yanni, you have a task that needs to be completed to achieve a higher purpose in life. You will use every resource that the divine has bestowed upon your life. When work has to be done, you can count on your intuition to bring fruition to your own goal or desire. And then there's like 9 more of those. Like, just...
I mean, it's insanely, like... I'm at a loss for words. Did you all notice the beer with a cause?
Where's that?
It's in the story, so it's if you click on the arrow, it says beer with a cause. Oh, it's right under our creed.
What's the cause?
I think it's a Polish organization.
Flower of femininity. Now, it's really nice that they do this. This is really nice. What they support is prevention. Above all, it says we want to break the taboo, which is talking about cancer of female reproductive organs. So that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't have any issue with that. Or, like, I guess if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm actually just currently looking about trying to see where the fuck you could just, like, how much are these beers? Like, it's just kind of...
It's just kind of there. The beers are not actually present on the website at all.
No, it's just, I'm looking through and just, it is a little weird that they're like seeking a goddess, but whatever.
From my understanding from other articles that are a little bit older than now, you have to like submit a an application to have like your girlfriend's vaginal juices turned into a beer.
Weird. I'm awestruck, actually. There's a lot going on here. There's so many moving pieces. I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I'm just gonna start from building block 1. There was an Indiegogo to make pussy beer. What the F? Now, they're doing their own thing. They're like, we're gonna sell this in small, limited batches. Here's the ladies that you're drinking from. We're gonna make them sound like just things with which you just get your pussy beer from. And we're just gonna have like science pictures on here to make it look like we're doing stuff. Like, view laboratory certificates. It's just, there's, like, what the hell?
Now, if you look at the lab page, credit to these people, though. They actually do start talking about their scientific process after the initial weirdness of discovering the process of transmitting her essence into the beer. After that, there's this part about safety where it talks about the crucial part of their process is ensuring the safety of their product. So they isolate the lactobacillus bacteria and make sure that there's no other bacteria or viruses with it. And then they prepare it for the actual like beer making process. It says that they examine it for foreign DNA and or RNA and so on and so forth. Like, they break it down, and it's really nice that they do that.
Yeah, and these papers here, like, some of them are in English and some of them are in Polish, but they have it all put through. They have it signed and stamped and with all these official looking documents for confirming in, what was this, like 3 different languages so far, that it is indeed the crucial strain that they have there and not some other shit. So, I mean, I guess
there's a lot of moving pieces.
So as far as being able to actually consume pussy juices, these people, the weird beer company that's pretending to be a cult, they're doing it the most safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
but
I guess, one, it's not hurting anybody. Presumably, these goddesses that they have on their website are making some kind of money off of this, just donating juice. And then, like, they get paid for it. The juice gets processed until it's not actually juice anymore, but it's still, like, where it came from. But people are paying and they're consenting to consume the pussy juice.
And the
Yep.
photography is not as hardcore as I thought it would be. It's actually very artsy.
Yeah, it's very tasteful.
Oh yeah, I did describe it as softcore, not hardcore.
Oh, softcore. Sorry, I don't know why I heard hardcore. Just don't know where my brain's at.
Yes, he did say.
He did say softcore.
He did
Okay,
say.
because for some reason I was imagining, how a lot of like Adam and Eve websites are, and like lingerie and sex toy shops. They're like, ugh. I just feel like everybody on those sites are ugly, and I'm like,
they just don't cater to our specific tastes.
Mm-mm.
According to the microbiologists in the articles that I've been reading, the process to make these beers specifically would probably go something like this. They would culture the bacteria out of the vagina, then they would put it in a petri dish, and then they would separate it from everything else, and then they would reproduce it in a lab setting until it was so far removed from a vagina, you might as well not ever call it anything related to that.
Oh. Then why even do it?
Because it's the concept.
For a gimmick.
Yeah.
They said that vaginal bacteria can be used for all three of these purposes, but they're not suited for them, and that the only reason you would use them is for gimmicks to sell a product, like what the beer company is doing with their goddesses and ancient cult nonsense. And according to one microbiologist, he said, quote, "It's likely the vagina organisms would just sit there and survive, or maybe contribute a little bit, but otherwise leave the natural organisms to do the work. You would have to combine them with the natural organisms that are already making the thing that you are putting it into, and they aren't really contributing anything to the product other than just being able to put it on the label that you are using it as a gimmick."
Okay. So it's just beer.
It's really just beer with probiotics. Probiotics beer.
Yep, beer with probiotics. With a really interesting gimmick.
Yeah.
Well, it had me screaming at the microphone.
It did. It did have us going.
I'm done screaming at the microphone.
Do you want to pivot and talk about men for a little while?
I guess.
Sure. I love those guys. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay.
I love men too. It's just sometimes.
Sometimes.
So, back in 2008, author Paul Fotenhauer wrote a book called Natural Harvest about cooking with cum. And for a little while, he had a website called Cooking with Cum, but I checked and it's not around anymore.
Oh, rip.
He compares the taste of semen, and I don't agree with a word of this, to fine wine and cheese, and characterizes its taste as complex and dynamic.
I heartily disagree. I have a very small sample size, granted, but no.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's fine dining.
It's definitely a taste. It's a very unique taste, but it's not something I would put in the realm of fine wine and cheeses and such. It's more like a weird fruit.
Weird fruit. He says that because semen is inexpensive to produce, I would hope, and available to many, if not all, homes, everyone should be cooking with it.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
There's a line.
So today, there's a lie, yes. Today I read all 400 posts in his Ask Me Anything on Reddit from several years ago.
Oh my god.
Because I love the research and the weird stuff.
You got to tell us the highlights.
Yep. It answered several interesting questions that I immediately had and wanted to ask. My own, why would you ask that? Questions. So here's some answers to questions that you might have also immediately thought of. The average amount of semen in an average ejaculation is apparently about a teaspoon.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a little more. He recommends that you harvest about and he calls it that over and over. Harvest. He recommends that you harvest about an hour or so before cooking, and then again immediately before making the dish.
So
2 teaspoons.
Two teaspoons.
Oh. Bro.
But I just want to also point out, according to the author himself, answering a question he was asked, he has to ejaculate about 6 to 7 times a day.
Is bro okay?
To put him in the realm of the amount he needs for the recipes that he wrote, which is about 2 tablespoons.
Oh, okay. So he needs to because he needs the amount.
Not because...
But is bro okay? Is bro okay? Like...
Is he hydrating?
I would hope. I mean, I would really hope.
I'm worried.
Apparently, the cooking properties of sperm is similar to egg white. And you can replace egg white in anything that you cook with semen.
Can you just fry it like an egg?
You just dump it in anywhere a recipe says it needs egg white.
But what if I want a fried egg?
Nope, you're getting fried cum for breakfast.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you asked. Because if you just want a fried egg, the author's very first dish that he ever cooked was, quote, simply ejaculating into a frying pan to see what would happen. And it turned into mini omelets.
Oh my god. What?
Oh my god. Imagine the little crisp that you get at the edges and everything. Do you salt it or do you pepper it? Like what
I don't think you need salt. I've heard.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Maybe a little paprika?
Paprika? Maybe a little
little cumin.
Oh god. I'm so sorry.
You can always drop a little pussy juice on there.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh shit.
So over and over and over and over and over and over again, people kept going, "What's wrong with you? Why? What does your therapist say about that?" And some variation of. Eventually, he finally answered the question, which was, "Why do you do this thing? What does it add to the food?" He said nothing.
You know what? I love this guy. What the hell?
Fucking nuts.
He's just fucking weird.
They said, "Then why do you do it? If it doesn't add anything, why do you do it?" He said, "Because it adds an exciting twist."
He ain't wrong. Bro is not wrong. Oh my god. He has an excuse, I guess, to jerk off 6 times a day, and he's gonna take it. And he's gonna be like, I guess I can't waste this. I make so much.
Oh man.
Somebody said, "Why would you do that? Straight guys don't eat cum." He goes, "Good thing I'm not straight."
Oh, wow.
I mean,
somebody said, "What if you can't produce anymore because you did it so many times?" And he said, "I use my partner."
Okay.
Wow.
Bro's living his best life out there.
You can't go for it, honey. Do what you do.
Honey, if you want these crepes, you gotta come in the cup.
You need more man whites. Oh my god. I mean, even if you eat your own cum, though, I gotta say, you're still straight. You're just curious. Like, bro, it's when you start cooking with cum that you start questioning things. And
I feel like eating your own cum is not a statement on your sexual preferences.
it's the cooking part.
It's the cooking.
And it doesn't mean that you're inclined toward one gender or another. You just into weird shit.
You just Yep. So, what else, Remy?
So once he said that it doesn't add anything, some people were trying to justify this by going like, okay, but he's getting the protein from it.
No.
It adds protein.
No.
So does egg white.
He said that you don't even taste it in the food unless you're using it as the main ingredient in the dish, which he does do for several recipes in his cookbook. So then a lot of people started asking, since this adds nothing to the food, you can't taste it, it doesn't add a texture thing, you're getting a negligible amount of protein, is this a fetish? He said, no.
No, I'm just bored.
After probably like 100 people asked, are you sure this isn't a kink? At the very bottom of the Ask Me Anything, the very, very bottom, like literally the last question he answered, the dude said, I'm not shaming you. Are you sure this isn't a kink? He said, okay, listen, maybe it's a little bit of a kink.
Bro.
Which I'm not kink shaming, okay? You do whatever you want, as long as you're doing it consensually with people who want to do it.
Oh my god, you do you, bro.
If he's into
you
it,
eat that cum.
If his partner's into it, I mean, go for it. Chase your bliss.
Here's the last fact that I learned.
Oh, yes.
Somebody said, do you like to have dinner parties where you cook this food for other people? And he said, dinner parties with lots of guests who agree to eat the food and produce the semen are the highlight of my hobby.
Oh my god. Oh my
He
god.
has orgies. He has cooking orgies.
He has cooking orgies, yes. So in that comment, he said that the last one that he had hosted, he asked all the producers, as he called them, to eat a specific food. It was like one person was only eating walnuts for 36 hours, and one person was only eating mangoes for 36 hours, and so on and so forth beforehand, because it alters the chemistry of how it tastes.
Yeah.
And then they all just jacked off into their respective dishes.
I want to say that this has got to be a prank.
This book is on Amazon. You can buy it.
It could still be a prank.
How much? But how much?
I think it was $20.
Wow. I wonder.
Let me go get my link open. Natural Harvest. It's $22 in paperback, but you can get it on Kindle Unlimited for $0.
That's my favorite price.
Well, you have to pay for Kindle.
He has another book also. Mm-hmm.
What's that?
It's called Semenology. Where he's focusing on cocktails.
This guy is great.
It's gotta be a prank. It's just,
I want to believe that this is all real.
Do you want to hear some of the recipes?
Yes, absolutely.
There better be crepes.
He said his favorite cocktail is the Almost White Russian.
Oh.
Which has 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of coffee liqueur, a half an ounce of semen, which is quite a lot, cream, and ice cubes.
Wink.
Or you could make these crepes that I was just referencing. You make the crepe part like usual. They're called creamy cum crepes.
Creamy cum crepe. I love it.
Yeah, you make the crepes like usual. So it's got egg, flour, milk, salt, and butter. And then the filling is half a cup of cottage cheese, 2 tablespoons of semen. So you're going to have to ejaculate 7 times. A third of a cup of butter and a fourth of a cup of powdered sugar. Do you want to make your own caramel?
With dick?
With Dick, you're going to need a cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of water, 1.5 cups of whipping cream, a half a cup of milk, a tablespoon of fresh semen, it specifies.
Oh.
The others did not specify this.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, you could store it, I guess.
So this one needs a tablespoon of fresh semen. So you're going to need to ejaculate about 3 times fresh.
What's the shelf life of semen?
Right when you're trying to make this dish. I don't know. And an egg.
And an egg. Okay. Egg and caramel. I didn't know.
You don't make... That's not how you make caramel.
Well, that's how he makes caramel.
Well, whatever. Bro just sticks his dick in things and it's with it.
Sperm can be preserved for decades when frozen.
So I'm not gonna eat decades-old sperm for no flavor. Just saying.
And it can last for several days unfrozen.
Last for several days. But when I say last, when I say last, I mean, like, is it going to upset your stomach?
Here, and it's always going to upset your stomach.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Could make your own barbecue sauce with it, apparently.
Sure.
He suggests making your own oysters.
No.
Your own.
No. Bro. No.
How the fuck do you?
This one's my favorite. It has a picture. It's disgusting.
Can you share this picture with us?
Oh yeah.
I need to see this. I like how disgusting. Like I'm very curious. Like, but I need to know, what does it look like? How disgusting is this?
Scroll down to man-made oysters.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh dear. Oh.
So for these man-made oysters, you're going to want to eat the oysters out of the shell, and then you're going to use the cleaned oyster shells and take your chilled semen. The more the better, it specifies. And just put it in the shell.
No.
And then squirt some lemon on top of it.
He just
No.
came on the oyster.
Yep. Right on the shell.
Oh my God.
Squirt some lemon juice on there and just lick it right back up out of it.
It's ironic.
Put it in there. You just.
Yeah, that's literally what he did.
You just.
This gotta be a prank. It's gotta be a prank.
Cold semen. Probably taste about the same.
I love this guy.
This guy is so.
I mean, I'm sitting here imagining that he just wrote this whole book for one. I'm imagining a Jim Halpert situation in which he wrote a full book and put it on Amazon, like published it, put it on Amazon just to mess with somebody. And then it just blew up into something complete.
It was on the Tosh.0 or whatever show.
Does that still even exist?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Now, if you want to end on a lighter note that's not about cum, I can talk about one more thing because it's
all right. Hit me.
Okay. Would you eat cheese made from bacteria taken from the armpit of a celebrity?
No.
Never. Not even Adam Driver.
Not even Adam Driver. Okay.
No.
In 2019, the Victoria and Albert Museum in London showed off 5 different types of cheese that they had made from the microbes collected from different British celebrities.
Ew.
But why?
It comes pre-made, called dick cheese.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. Oh.
Sorry.
Listen, I'm sorry. Are all these people white? This is insane. Why would anyone think to do this?
So, milk is transformed into curds by a starter culture bacteria, which determines whether the cheese will ripen. And it turns out that many of the bacteria used to make cheese are similar to bacteria encountered on human skin, which is why sometimes the scent of smelly feet and smelly cheese overlap. So scientists and cheesemakers at the London Biolab Open Cell collected bacteria from celebrity armpits, ears, noses, and belly buttons. The bacteria was grown in the lab until suitable strains could be selected for cheesemaking. And you want to know why did they do it?
The gimmick?
Yes.
According to one of the celebrities, it was a reaction to the overreaction of restrictions on food cultures and traditions like raw milk.
Oh, okay. They're trying to make a point.
Yeah, they're making a point with it. She said raw milk cheese is permitted in Scotland, but is under threat, and it is against this backdrop that our cheese selves roll in, stinking, fermenting rebuttals to a food culture that values control over spontaneity, consistency over organic growth. And I just thought it was neat that they made cheese out of people's bacteria. I wouldn't eat it, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, but I just straight up wouldn't. Let me get acquainted with the bacteria impersonal. I'm not gonna be eating no fucking cheese made out of fucking armpit juices.
Is there anyone that we would recognize?
Probably not.
Okay.
Some guys. Celebrities. I don't know.
I feel like that's a very specific cause. Raw milk?
I think it makes sense.
Let me see. It was Suggs, S-U-G-G-S, a singer from the ska band Madness, best known in the U.S. for its 1982 hit Our House.
Wait,
they made some cheddar from his bacteria.
you said Our House?
Yes.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house.
All right. Okay. You know that guy.
Okay.
Alex James, bassist for the band Blur, chose Cheshire cheese. Celebrity chef Heston Blumenthal went for Comte, whatever. Great British Bake Off runner-up and food writer Ruby Tandow chose Stilton, and rapper Professor Green, who admitted he truly hates cheese, insisted his belly button bacteria be turned into mozzarella because it's the only cheese he almost tolerates.
Wait,
I've heard of these people.
Ruby Tandow? Oh my god.
Oh, you know that one?
Yeah, Ruby, she was awesome. I followed her blog after Great British Bake Off. She's big on fighting eating disorders and making food more accessible and more healthy food more friendly, basically. She's develop a good relationship with your food. So,
well, in 2019, she made microbe cheese from her armpit.
Oh, Ruby.
And she's the one who gave the quote I just got done reading about raw milk. And then she went on to give some quotes about how she's the one who wrote the whole blog post about how she wants people to reframe their thinking of microbes as being only bad or harmful because our body relies on microbes to survive, which is true.
Yeah, I'm still not going to eat the cheese, but yeah.
Nobody ate the cheese, actually. At the end of the article, it says that nobody is ever going to eat the cheese. It's for display purposes only.
Yeah, I would hope so.
It's like the guy who took a biopsy of his leg, and they took the sample to determine what approximate meat would match the makeup of a human flesh thing, because he can't eat his own flesh, which I think is messed up, but also I guess makes sort of sense. Don't eat your own flesh, I guess.
No.
You're not your own property. Don't eat yourself.
I feel like you are your own property.
You're not. But anyway.
You're right. My body belongs to the lizard within me.
Okay. I hope that we answered your question. Can you make bread with yeast from your body? And I hope that we gave everybody a little bit more to munch on.
Fuck you. Jesus Christ.
But thanks everybody for listening. We are very excited to take your questions too, because we want to hear them and we want to answer them, and we are so super qualified to answer questions. So what you can do is you could visit our website, which is whywouldyouskthat.com, and go to that little contact form, throw in a question, or you can email us at whywouldyouskthatpod@gmail.com. So please send us your questions. We don't care how weird it is, how gross it is. Just don't ask any personal questions. That's our one line. Ask your weird questions. That's what we want. So thank you for listening. This is M, Karen, and Remy, and ask us some shit. Thank you. Good night.